Okay, so this is the Wacom Moving Pad 11, I think is the name of it. I don't have any pronunciation guide, so sorry, I can't help with that. Before I get started on this, actually, I want to talk about why I think this device is significant. There are actually precious few LCD or OLED Android tablets with EMR digitizers. So, I mean, there's basically the Samsung ones, right? And the Samsung ones are basically they really only start to become affordable after they are like 3 years old, which I don't think is really a great state of affairs. I'm still not clear as to why exactly it is that Wacom stuff tends to be so expensive, although this device is proof that it doesn't have to be. This is very much a mid-range price. This is like $450, I think. And it has like a Mediatek, I think it's Mediatek, Helio something or other CPU, but it does have 8 gigs of RAM, which I think is interesting in this market segment. And it has, I think, the latest edition, like the most advanced version, which you would think so because it's their product, of Wacom's technology. So we're going to see how this performs. I think it's significant that this thing comes out, and there's basically no marketing. I mean, look at this box. Like, the box is colorless, literally. Like, they use, like, bottom of the barrel, like, graphic design and whatever when it came to this thing. And they seem to be marketing it as art. Like, look how great this is going to be for you to draw and, do digital painting with anywhere. Art. And, like, they don't seem to understand, maybe, that, like, the note-taking community might salivate and, jump all over something like this. But we'll see. Now, despite ink, this is not an e-ink display. It does have an LCD. I think it's an LCD. I think it has a pretty good quality LCD, which we're going to check out in a little bit. But anyway, so that's kind of my thinking here. I am very curious to see how Android applications work with like this digitizer technology and this CPU and this screen, and whether or not we get lag. I have a suspicion this is going to be a lag-free experience. If it is, I think that's significant for a lot of people, because it means that for $450 you can get something that performs really well. You may not have e-ink on it, but it will work with basically any Android writing application you can think of. So that's the reason why I wanted to open this up and take a look at it, and so that's what we're. Okay, so I'm already impressed here, and there's 2 reasons. Number one, the packaging remains incredibly Spartan. There's no color anything in here. It is just cardboard. Really quite, just understated, which I think is fine. I don't think there's a reason for it to be crazy. However, it also sort of underscores how there's no marketing for this thing. There's no flash. There's no... why don't I see advertisements for this all over Facebook the way I do for Supernote or for Boox or for whoever, right? Because this is something you would think a lot of people would be interested in, and there just ain't nothing. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so this is a Wacom pen which comes with it. It has 3 buttons, which I think is interesting. We're gonna find out what all those do. It has this nib, which I think is like just kind of plastic. I don't know what kind of plastic it is. Something that's interesting, which is a little difficult for me to show you while I'm holding my phone, but I'll try, is this has this unscrewable back. And for a second, I was like, oh, crap. This thing has a battery. Is this some kind of weird, like, Frankenstein, Wacom, USI nonsense? And I didn't realize. But no. What this actually is a compartment. All right, fine, I'll just do this. That holds spare nibs. How about that? I feel like that's an idea as time has come. interesting. I am also anxious to try some other nibs in this pen that I have, which we'll see. So moving on to the actual device. So this is something, I'm going to show you the back first because I find there's an interesting detail here that I want you guys to see, which I think at least one person, Roger Wortham of Rants About Tech, is going to find interesting here. Look, it has its own rat feet / tech feet / whatever you want to call them. Little rubber feet for sitting on your desktop so that you can lean on your desk, you know, and also apply a little pressure to the device and be able to write that way. Also has a camera, which is interesting. Not entirely sure what you do with that, but I guess we'll find out. So other than that, aluminum build, this is actually very nice. This feels iPad-like. And then we have this, of course. You can already kind of see that there's kind of like a texture to this. So here's the front camera. I'm pretty sure this is a light sensor. This surface, I don't know how to describe this. It's really nice. It's like a something etched glass, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But let me set up my rig for you know, streaming displays, and we'll take a look. Okay, so here we are on the Wacom Moving Pad 11's home screen. As far as I can tell, this machine just has sort of the default Android, what's called a GSI, which I think stands for Generic System Image. So what that means is that the experience is very much like a Pixel tablet. That is a positive thing. There's no skinning going on here to slow it down. Wacom doesn't seem to be interested in, you know, crapping up the experience with their own sort of proprietary nonsense. So that's a big plus as far as I'm concerned. The top part here is all applications that I've installed, because we're going to test all those together, which is going to maybe take a while. But you know what? I got nothing going on, and my friend, neither do you, because here you are. So the stuff on the bottom is the stuff that shipped from Wacom, and these are just things that I wanted to include because they were actually relevant. I don't know what yeah, okay. So I put a couple of utilities on the other side here, but there's really not a lot installed. If I, like, they don't, why is this not, okay, there we go. They don't load, you know, they load sort of the standard Google Apps, you know, loadout of stuff. There's no surprises here, really, right? And everything that is on the system is, you know, either stock Android or, you know, a particular Wacom specific thing like this Canvas app or this shelf thing. So one thing I will note is that out of the box, you don't get actually very much functionality here. I think they count on you maybe doing one of two things, either knowing exactly what it is that you want and installing that from the Play Store, or using this Clip Studio thing, which I think this is a third-party company that you have to pay like a lot of money extra to use, and it's a subscription, and like, no thank you, right? Because this Canvas app, which I gather is the thing that you are supposed to use by default, is sort of terrible. No offense, Wacom, but so, okay, you may have noticed I'm using a Statler. So this is the pen that ships with the thing. You get these 3 buttons. I don't know why this like slides a little back. You see that? I don't know what the point of that is. It's not documented anywhere. It's not in the you know, help thing. I don't know what's going on there. The 3 buttons do different things. So you know, if you just draw, then you get letters, right, or whatever. Okay, there's my square. So you can see not a lot of lag here. Right? I mean, that's not a surprise. This is an eraser. So first button is an eraser. it's, so you can see that, right? Like, this is interesting to me. Before touching the screen even, it knows what button's being pressed. I didn't know that. I thought it only knew what button was being pressed when, well, this is clearly a next generation version of Wacom EMR. So we'll explain that in a second, but it knows basically when you're hitting a button, even if you're not touching the screen. So I find that interesting. This is what the first one does, is it switches to an eraser. Okay. The second one switches without you doing it. Like, it's not like this, you press the second one, push down on the screen and a thing happens. It just switches tools, which is interesting. And then the third one, I forget what this does. Something. Let's see. Oh, that's right. It moves the canvas around, which is useful, I think, if you're an art guy. I, of course, am not an art guy. No one would ever accuse me of such. But then the first one is eraser. This does not do stroke erase. As you can see, it really just does that kind of thing. There is no eraser on the back. That's what this pen is all about. You can see this is specifically a Wacom pen. This pen does not work with any other Wacom device I've tried yet. So I tried it on my Tab C Pro, I tried it on my Note Max, I tried it on my Tab Mini C, and all of them were like, sorry to this man, I don't know who this man is, right? So it just did not work. But my beloved Statler works just fine. So, I also tried a Scribe Premium Plus, Scribe Premium Pen, right? Yeah. I'm going to check yeah, okay, good. So that worked fine. There was a compatibility list on their page somewhere. There's no surprises on there. You can tell this thing to stop paying attention to older, quote unquote, older versions of the Wacom EMR pen. I, of course, would never do that. So I guess being sensitive to older versions of the pen means that it uses a little bit more battery because it's always listening for the pen. Somehow there was some explanation about that. I don't get it. And more importantly, I could not care if you paid me. So there's that. Just as long as the damn thing works, I'm happy. So we're going to just go, I think, in most cases with using the Statler because, number one, it's the Statler. It's one of the two best pens you can use. And number two, this surface is definitely an etched glass. It doesn't have any kind of screen protector on it, at least not yet. Foreshadowing there. So when I tried using titanium on this, I heard this very uncomfortable feeling, and I was like, I'm not going to use that anymore. Thanks, but no thanks. I pass on that, right? So the eraser on the Statler, though, is very interesting. So there is actually something I want to show you guys. I'm going to use this Scribe Premium, which has Rants About Tech Rod's ceramic tip in it, which is normally too long. I ground it down in order for it to fit correctly, sort of correctly. It's still not quite right. I think it needs a thicker sheath, just like a very slightly thicker sheath, and a shorter length, I think. But I hacked it, and it kind of works, so whatever. And the ceramic tip doesn't really bother the glass as much, I don't think. But if I do this, I see that's a very unfortunate sound. I'm not going to be doing much of this. Okay, so we have that. Now, if I do this guy, right, I get my tiny little spot eraser, right? If I do the back, this validates a theory that I've had for a while, by the way. So I'm just going to bask in being right. Delicious. And so first of all, we can see, well, I don't know if you can see. Probably not. That's okay. This knows where the eraser is pretty high up. Wow, really high up. The reason I know that is because I can see a tiny little pointer dot underneath the pen. So it knows it's there. It knows it's there. It knows it's still, oh my God. Okay, like, I think this is like a centimeter up and it still can see the pen. That's kind of wild. But so here's my eraser tip, right? As opposed to my eraser button. Look at this. Look at that. It uses it knows the difference between those two erasers. So what that tells me is that this and this are two different frequencies, right? Gotta be. And so that's interesting because it tells us that there's at least 3 functions that are available in the regular EMR protocol. Because I've seen, I think it's Mobiscribe react differently to the 3 different kinds of things here as well. So there's definitely at least normally 3 different frequencies at work in EMR, normal EMR, not this like fancy advanced EMR, that can tell it to do different things. Which tells me further, there's no reason Onyx could not make it so that we can use the button on pens as lasso. I'm just saying, comma, Kenneth, and you know, who's the other one I'm struggling to remember? There's one more. Sylvia, right? Yes. We could use that. If you put it into 4.1, we would all be very happy. I'm just saying. Okay. Anyway, right. So that is a thing. But this is all this thing does. Like, I've tried changing colors. That appears to not be an option. You know, like if I use this pen, that still does not like give me the ability to like do anything different here. I don't know, man. Maybe no. Hello. No. Literally, you get blue pencil or black pencil or whatever this is, or black paintbrush. That's it. Like, this is super basic. This is basically like, see, save image of the current location. Okay, whatever, who cares? Or about Wacom Campus. I mean, really, build date May 2nd. So this thing is really, really recent. But really, like, just not a lot going on here. Not super useful at all. You know, and so whatever. This application is basically a test to validate. Does all my stuff work? Okay, cool, right? Now, you can, I believe it's this. No, that's a lie. You can continue drawing in Clip Studio Paint. Okay, so here's Clip Studio Paint. This is somebody else's program. I don't believe this belongs to Wacom. Now, installing additional, okay, whatever. Yeah, this thing is the subscription nonsense that I was talking about earlier. I am pretty sure I have absolutely under no circumstances are you allowed to send me notifications. Go away. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Like, you guys can do something I'm not allowed to say on YouTube. But okay. Launch in doodle mode. Blah blah blah. Right, continue in doodle mode, don't care about your nonsense. I don't even know if it imported the picture. No. What's this? Okay, whatever. So, right. Again, well, maybe that's what this is. Okay, see, to use this feature, to do literally anything useful with this, you have to have a license. So that's enough of that. Okay, be gone. So for reference, I went looking up what CPU this thing has. That is a Mediatek 8781V, which is a somewhat but not all that slower. Well, it is a chip. Sorry, it is a chip which is somewhat but not all that much slower than the Snapdragon 855 that's in the Note Max. So basically, this thing is a little slower and has more RAM than the Note Max. It has 8 gigs of RAM. As you can see here, 8 cores, 2 A76s, 6 A55s. Pretty fast, actually. I mean, I don't have any issue. What on earth? Okay, go away. Really, I don't have any issues with this at all. 230 DPI. I have to tell you, it feels more than that. This seems to me like a really, really high resolution screen. It might have fooled me in that sense, but it really does feel faster. or not faster, you know, higher pixel density. I don't know if that's just a trick of LCD or what, but not a whole lot of other surprises to be found in CPU-Z, right? This is all pretty normal stuff, honestly. So, okay. Useful information to have for the future. So now, like I said, you know, there's no app ecosystem for this thing. Honestly, this is a breath of fresh air. I talked about this a little bit earlier about how I liked this, and I'm gonna stick behind that analysis. Like basically, it is here we are giving you the tool set to do whatever you would like to do with EMR on Android. Is basically the philosophy behind this thing, which A-okay as far as I'm concerned, right? That's actually really good. So we're going to try a few things. Let's go to Notewise, which I install every once in a while on my Boox in order to figure out if it makes sense on that machine yet. Okay, new note. Right, so let's see how this performs. We'll go here and we'll try ballpoint first. Black. So you can see not a whole lot of lag, a little bit. It's slightly noticeable. You know, not bad. Really not bad at all. You know, we have our eraser here. I wonder if this does, I don't remember if this does stroke erase. Let's find out. Actually, let's see what this thing does. Okay, so that's big old eraser. How about this guy? That appears to, second button appears to do nothing at all. Third button, nope. I have a feeling that this is what most apps are going to be like. Because I think most apps are probably not going to speak, you know, next generation Wacom EMR. So yeah, here's my highlighter. Neat. Okay. And yeah, well, actually, why don't we see if there's like two different, wait, what? Oh, okay. Okay. And how about this? Oh, same thing. Okay. So for some apps, erase is erase. For other apps, it knows the difference between erasers. It really depends on how the application is written, right? Does it have the latest libraries for interacting with this kind of stuff? Okay, so that's Notewise. Why don't we look at IBIS Paint? Wow, okay. Wow. Sure. Is this your first time using a drawing app? I don't, you know what? Okay. I'm not interested in this, guys. I would like you to just let me into the application, please. I can't express the degree to which I do not care about, oh my God. Wow. No. Okay, there we go. And sure. There is no artwork. That's deep. Okay. Sure. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe I should have explored this application before trying to do a YouTube video about it. But what? Okay, well, I don't care. Come on. All right. Again. Okay, so there's definite lag here. However, this crosshair is kind of nice. Yeah, see, it's not. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm trying to like, oh boy, wow, that was bad. Okay. So it's not e-ink lag, right? It's not, I didn't optimize my application for an EPD controller, and therefore it's like 20 minutes behind wherever you put the pen. But it ain't that good, right? Now, the question I don't know the answer to yet is it good enough for note-taking? Because, I mean, we can see how it is for drawing. Now, if you're drawing, a lot of times you're making very slow strokes, right? Oh, that's interesting. Hang on. Can I just erase everything? Yeah, there we go. Whatever. Okay, so, where was I? Yeah. I don't know whether or not this thing is capable of going faster. Let's see. So here's keep. Okay. No, leave me alone. Okay. Here's one from ages ago that I did. Is it going to let me? No, I have to do that first. Okay. Cool. So let's see how well this works. Is it smart enough to do palm rejection? It looks that way. This is also much faster. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's still faster. Oh, that's right. I remember what I was gonna do now. We're gonna do this. Oops. Oh, you can't do that. Okay. This is going to be stupid, but that's okay. Oh, no. Well, no, that should be fine. Go gadget, go 7 case. Slow diagonal line. Okay, so that's fine. That's good. All right, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, we don't have any issues there. Okay, how about Nebo? So this thing is sort of infamous for not working at all on Boox devices for reasons. It's not really sure what its damage is, but my understanding is that maybe they kind of wrote their own ink layer for whatever reason, and so Boox can't figure out what that's about or why you would use it. So people seem to really like this app. I think it's because it has built-in handwriting recognition. See, I'm the kind of person, I know folks like Voya are not, but I'm the kind of person for whom this level of lag is fine for note-taking. So let's see. Okay. Convert text. There you go. Not bad. Not bad at all, Nebo. What else does this thing do? No. Export. Okay. Do we have settings for, like, I don't remember. Okay. Writing. Interactions. I don't know what the hell this means. Okay. Cloud Sync. Okay. Oh, Dropbox or Google Drive. Okay, not interested. Network. Sure. Okay, great. Nebo AI. Okay, so it does. It's interesting. Okay, so this works. I'm not surprised by that. I think Boox is doing, Onyx is doing something different with, well, they have done something differently with their, with their their pen input layer. I don't know what it is. At some point, maybe, hopefully, I'll figure out what it is, but I'm not there yet. Right. Blah, 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 blah. Concept spam. Okay. Start with the basics. Great. Okay. Let's see how well this works. I am going a little fast. I'm trying to sort of power through this because we have a lot to get through. It's pretty quick. Maybe I make that a little bit smaller. Like a lot smaller. Okay. Cool. I think that works fine. We have shapes. We have all kinds of things. Okay. Cool. Something I would love to find, if any of y'all know where I can get something like this, is basically something that can make diagrams, actually. Ooh, I think maybe Excalidraw can do this. Something that's good at making network diagrams that can do like snap to connectors, right? Like snap to shape. If I could have that in this kind of format, I would be a very, very, very happy scientific computing director. Just saying. All right. Enough of the concepts. I have plenty of concepts. Here is Squid, which is something that people are always interested in finding out how/whether it works on Boox. What? Oh, okay. Sure. Do you have an active pen? I sure do. Okay. This is nice. I think this experience is a little bit more optimized for handwriting. Okay. Now, are there any surprises? What? Oh, is that select? It is select. Wild. Wow. I think that's the first time I've seen anybody do that. Is this second one maybe like... Oh, it is erase. They have custom functions. What does this one do? Ugats. Okay. So this one is select. Hello? There we go. This one is erase. Wow, that's wild. Okay, so Squid, very interesting. Wait, how does that work with the Statler? Okay, erase is erase on the Statler. What about on the Scribe? No way. Oh man, now I see. Now I need regular nibs for my Scribe. I mean, okay, no, I'm lying. I'm not really going to use this for notes, but it's just the principle of the thing, right? I wish that, try Squid 10. I wish that it had, let's back up and restore, cloud storage provider. Nope, okay. What I'm looking for here is something other than commercial file storage systems, and this does not appear to have that. What is it? Okay, like local is whatever. Okay. Yeah. Oh wait, there was this one. What is Squid? Oh, interesting. Okay. Casting and presenting, backup. Okay, so now maybe do we have more in Squid 10? That's weird. They package the new application inside. Okay, that's very strange. Maybe it's just a different UI. That must be it. Okay. Neat. Right, I think that's the end of Squid. Bye-bye. Over to OneNote. I have not set up on OneNote yet. Okay, so after now skipping the authentication part of this, here we are. That's weird. Why is that like that? It's a strange choice. I don't remember if this thing can do anything useful. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna send sync testing. What does this do? I think that's new. don't think I've seen that before. Syncing in background. Okay. And then settings. La-di-da-di-da. Single page content. OneNote floaty. What the hell is that? Okay. Not really anything new in here, I don't think. They haven't even really gotten around to like AI-ifying the whole thing yet. So, no surprises, I don't think. Again, that delay is something. I don't know. But I do still think it's fine for note-taking. I haven't really seen anything that dissuade me from that yet. Let's see what happens when we use... Does it know what this is? Like, does it have... Okay, so that's... I think that's stroke erase. Yeah, it's stroke erase. How about this one? Does nothing. I bet this one does nothing. Yeah. Microsoft is not exactly one for dealing with anybody else's standards. We'll put it that way. Okay. Incredible. What a name. Would you like a little help? Yes, appreciate it. You didn't tell me what subject. Like, I don't know. What if I'm having problems with my, I don't know, dog. Whatever. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Continuous page scrolling. Okay, fine. It's not all that useful. Okay. So here is incredible. Oh, we're one of these applications that just loves to do insane amounts of, you know, oh wait, no ink effect. Let's see what happens here. Okay, that's much better. Much better. Because, thank God we aren't doing stupid levels of smoothing. Okay. What is this? Okay, and then this is not so bad, actually. Why is this thing... This is only rated, like, I think 3.6 or something on the Play Store, and so far it seems fine. Like, it doesn't seem bad. Okay, buttons 1 and 2 are the same. It knows. I think button 3 does the same thing, too. Yeah. That's interesting. It's a little different for some reason. Like it's like an almost stroke eraser. I don't know what to make of that. No, this does the same thing too. That's weird. That's a strange way of doing a erase, I have to admit. No, I don't want that. No, I really don't want... How do I switch? Is it like the... Oh, maybe that's why. What's this? Okay. No. Anyway. Yes. Oh, there you go. Whole stroke erase. How about that? Nice. How do I make this smaller? Like, this is a lot. What? Okay. Well, anyway, you get the idea. So that's that. Oh, that's bad. Maybe I have to do that. Palm rejection on. What? Bro. Why are you... Okay. I probably want app settings. Deletion gesture. What does that mean? Eraser offset, something. Okay. How do I tell you to stop letting me draw with my finger? Because that's not desirable. Where did all my stuff go? Different page? No, just gone. Okay, maybe it needs work. Oh wait, no, there it is. What the hell? Okay, you guys saw that, right? I'm not crazy. Well, I mean, I am crazy, but not because of that. I don't understand. Okay, whatever. That's fine. Bye. No, I'm serious. Bye. Okay. And then, so note shelf. So note shelf is actually, if I remember correctly, the default application for note taking on the, what is that RLCD tablet? The black and white one. Daylight. Note shelf is the thing for daylight. Quick note, that sounds good. So this is reminding me that I would love for somebody to run these same tests with a daylight DC-1 if they have one. Let's see if this thing knows. Ooh, oh boy. Do I have an undo? Yeah. Second button. Nope. Okay. Third button. Probably not. Nope. But it does erase, so there's that. Because I think the DC-1 would function in much the same way as this because it's LCD. But I've never been able to test that hypothesis, and I would love to if somebody has one that they can test with. Right, so no surprises, no weird behavior. What is that? Oh, that's kind of a nice interface touch, actually. Maybe Note Shelf doesn't suck anymore. I feel like it was not this good the last time I looked at it. Yeah, I want pressure sensitivity. Yeah, there we go. Okay, you can actually see it that time. Ball pen, fountain pen, felt pen, pencil. Nice. Okay. Let's go away. Draw note. This is one of my tests for Boox Rapid Draw. Let's see. This is another one that knows where the pen is and will show you on the screen, which is a nice touch. Rapid Draw turned on does not let you do that because it interferes with the with his ability to see what's going on. But again, not any big surprises here. Can you tell that I never use cursive except when I'm doing e-ink demos? Right, so we can try the buttons again and see. So that's just a regular thing. Oh, hello. Wait, what? Yeah. Okay, so second button here, I think, is select. Yes, it is. Okay, we did that. Now, I did the selection, and then nothing. I'm not sure what that signifies. It might be a bug. I'm not really sure. Third button does nada. Okay. So what we're learning here is that there are different levels of support for this weirdo new EMR technology that some applications have and some don't. Okay. Good notes. This is another one that people love. I'm of decidedly mixed opinions, but whatever. Personally, I think it's incredibly embarrassing that they cannot get their applications to synchronize between Android and iOS devices or Android and Macs. Okay, I don't care. No, seriously, I don't care. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Still don't care. Okay. Got it. Whatever. Can't do that. How do I go next page? Yes. Right. Okay. Oh, it's here. Yeah. Yeah, I did this once before with a Boox when I was using Rapid Draw, I'm pretty sure. Very nice. Button. Oh, wow. First button does nothing in GoodNotes. Second button, draws. Third button, draws. It looks like there is no erase. That's fun. Okay. How about the scribe? Nope. Button does nothing in the scribe, I think. Yeah. Wow, that's wild. How about actual eraser? That does work. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is educational, if nothing else. Nothing else. Away. Obsidian. I'm going to save this one for last because I want to try something. Saber is a really nice application. If they put Boox API support into Saber, I might die and go to heaven. But we'll do this. We'll put on a template. Yeah. What did that say? Line height. Size for type notes. Oh, I see. This just lets you change the template. Okay. Oh my God, did you hear that? All right. Hopefully you can hear it. That is not my pen. That's Saber making a pen scratchy noise. That's fantastic. Okay. Oh, my eraser doesn't work. Huh. How about this one? Oh, that works. That's a stroke erase. Look at that. It's flipping. Again. It knows. What's this one do? Nothing. Third one. Nothing. It's so random what these things support and don't support. I have no idea how to account for that. Like, at all. I'm at a loss, guys. Okay, that works. Does this work? Yeah. All right. Shrug. Anyway, like I was saying, Saber, really, really nice. Very full-featured. I wish, you know, we were able to do... I think this thing does. I'll be very disappointed if it doesn't have built-in handwriting recognition. Does it really not? I feel like I'm missing something here. What's this? Whiteboard. Oh, that's right. I forgot this existed. This is like a collaboration whiteboard thing that's built into the application, which is pretty awesome. See, you can log in with Nextcloud. So it natively supports Nextcloud, and I think nothing else, which is kind of a big like middle finger to a lot of other cloud services. Prefer grayscale covers for unique displays. See, they have that. If they have that, why don't they have book support? I'm gonna have to yell at somebody about this. I mean, not actually yell, but you know. So you can see there's just like a lot of really good, really cool features in this application. And if there were no lag with e-ink, I might be using this all the time. I'm not sure, but it's pretty sexy. Anyway, so that's Saber. Whiteboard is interesting. So I have this connected to my... Yes, dude, I've tried to do this 100 times. Okay. I have this connected to my, you know, work account. And then... Well, this is... You can see there's an example here of Microsoft doing way too much. Look at the, like, weird stroke simplification that this thing insists on doing. Like if I'm just writing normally, I don't know, can I make it smaller? Yeah. Okay. That's barely legible, and it's not because of the pen, and it's not because of the EMR layer on this device. It's because Microsoft is Microsofting. So, yeah. There's not much you can do about that, unfortunately. But it works, and it works better naturally than it does on e-ink. So that's the thing that I've been trying to figure out. Like, is it really going to be better? So no function on button 1, no function on, it just draws on button 2. Just draws on button 3, and button 1 does ugats. How about eraser head? That does work. Okay. No stroke worries, but whatever. So whiteboard is a thing that is specifically for collaboration, basically. I don't know what Starnote is. Let's find out together. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Cool. This uses, I think, some advanced version of Material UI from Google. I think that's right. Cloud backup, Google Drive. It looks like that's all it's got. That's disappointing. Theme setting, cute. Document settings, whatever. Tool settings, seamless handwriting. I bet that's gonna suck. We'll have to come back to that, I think. Long press with the stylus, select text. Okay. Gesture. So there's some interesting gesture things in here, actually. 2-finger click. Look at all this. This doesn't suck, actually. There's some interesting stuff in here. Yeah. I could get into that if it weren't for, you know, this thing only syncing to one cloud service. I think that's kind of useless. Yeah, I'm not impressed with that. But what? Okay, whatever. Here. Note. Create. Here we go. So create new note. Infinite note, I'm guessing, is like remarkable. Disgraziata. And okay. Great. So can we do this? We can. Very nice. Okay. Here's our page. Okay, that doesn't suck. This is good output, I think. I am not a cursive person, as I mentioned earlier. Let's see. First button. Nothing. Usually when first button does nothing, second button also does nothing. Yeah. Third button. Nothing. However, eraser head. Also nothing. Oh, wow, that's really bad. Okay. Right. That's weird. Okay. Well, so much for Starnote. How about JNotes? JNotes, I think, comes with some application, and I don't remember which one it is. Or rather, some device. Oh, it's like is it the XP pen? It might be the XP pen. I would like to just look at the thing, please, because I don't know whether or not I want to use your application until I can see what it does. Bruh. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I think this does have a lot of functionality. These? No. Well, sure, why not? Okay. And what does this do? No. Privileges. Okay, so we can't really do anything with JNotes, but hello, tourists, comma. Welcome to JNotes. Tourists. Ballsy. All right. This is very Chinese. Please log in to enjoy more functions, tilde. Yeah, all right. Okay. That's it. Opening is deemed to agree and accept. All right. That's not. Why is there a T-shirt here? Oh, it's theme skin. See, again, very Chinese. All right. Bye-bye. Okay, Butterfly is another one that I really like. And another one that if they... what's it? If they did... you know, built-in like Onyx API support, I would be over the moon. So what's new? What is new? Let's find out. So yeah, Linwood Butterfly is the name of it. Powerful monolithic cross-platform open source note-taking app. If only they had Onyx support. Man, just this thing is awesome. Like awesome. Light. Cool. How do I change backgrounds? Is it like this? No. I think it might be like this. No. Huh? Components. Okay. Files. Stop it. Path eraser, undo. Okay. Select lasso, pen, red, pink, whatever that is. Okay. There is some way to do that on here. I'm not going to dive into this right now, but let's see what it knows about Wacom. Okay, so that's a stroke erase. Second button does nothing. Third button does nothing. So that's probably like you have to configure the eraser type deal. What's this? Waypoints? What? Okay, gonna have to look at that later. Anyway, yeah, Linwood Butterfly is really cool software. There is more to take a look at, but we're not going to do it right now. So, I don't think. Yeah, what happened there? Okay, that's weird. Right. Anyway, away you go. And then now let's go to Obsidian because of this. So there are two. Yes, I know. Thank you. There are two plugins. That's the Google. That's the Gboard handwriting keyboard, by the way. That you can use. I forget off the top of my head how to invoke ink, but there are two like drawing or ink or handwriting enabled plugins for Obsidian. One of them is ink and the other one is Excalidraw. So this is ink. Okay. In any markdown note, run the following command to begin writing where your cursor is. Command P or select ink new handwriting section. These can be added. Okay. Okay. Continue. Great. Swipe down. Ah. New handwriting section. Oh, yeah. Again, this isn't like e-ink level lag, but it's definitely there, but it's not enough to bother me. What happens with the native pen? First button. Ugats. Once again. Second button. Draws. Third button. Draws. Interesting. Okay. I don't know if that's necessarily in his control. The guy who develops this is named Dale DeSilva. He's put a lot of work into this plugin. But not everything is complete yet, obviously. And again, no button functionality. Do we have eraser head functionality? Yes. So that means that this probably works too. Yeah. That's actually pretty nice. Yeah, that works well. I don't know why the button doesn't work. And then, okay. And then you can start typing again. Right. So, and then we can do, nope, we can do, yeah, no drawing. So there are cooler things in the drawing section, or rather, this just looks like a drawing. Right. So very simple, but the idea behind it is that now you can put ink objects, you can put handwriting objects into these things. I don't know how to get rid of this menu. Okay, there it goes. What's this do? Oh, that's just a selection box. That's actually nice. I like the way that works. Okay. One could imagine this being used with rectangular file, depending on how it stores these images or these documents. Right, so here's, if you open it all the way, I guess, and then, yeah. Okay. And then you could have rectangular file basically periodically read data from Obsidian Sync. So in my case, I self-host Obsidian Sync using CouchDB, and there's a plugin for that. So you could theoretically have rectangular file read from that periodically, bring notes in, and basically sync the state of your Obsidian Sync library or your vault with itself, right? And then go looking for any documents that are handwritten in the ink plugin, and then import those, or just convert them to JPEG or whatever you have to do, and then use those for handwriting, etc. And then technically, you could then have it. Ooh, that's exciting. You could then have it do exactly the same image processing that it does now. So like all of this stuff with highlighting and so on. But I don't know if this actually has support for handwriting. No, or rather highlighting. No. Okay, so that's that, and then we have what? Oh no, I don't use a what's it? I don't use what's it? Obsidian often enough. Cool. I don't use Obsidian often enough for this to be sensible to me, right? Like I'm just, there's a lot of things I don't understand. Okay. So those are settings for ink. Let's go into, well, we already did Excalidraw, but we'll go into this loads as a test, and nope. Okay, and then I believe it hate you. Okay. Oh my God. All right. Okay, Excalidraw, create new drawing in an adjacent window, create new drawing in the cover an active window. I didn't know I could do this. Yeah, sure, okay. Right, how about that? Okay. So now we can draw. I have a feeling this is going to be bad. I hope I'm wrong. Oh yeah. Oh, that's awful. Okay. Now, why is that like that? Because whatever, everything looks like a animal balloon, right? A balloon animal, right? Like with these stupid little tips that, why do we do this? This is the thing about Excalidraw that drives me up a wall. I really want to like this application, but that particularly makes me want to stab my eyes out. But at least I'm not dramatic about it. So, I think, nope. Is it in here? Utility actions. Boy, is that not useful. Okay. What's this? Insert any file. Oh, how lovely of you. Okay, go away. I can't remember how this works. I think, oh wait, it's this. Yep. Stroke width smaller, and let's go with that. Sure. How do I make this go away? Oh my God. No. Okay. Wow. Okay. Try erase. That works fine. First button, nothing. Second button, draws. Third button, draws, I bet. Yep. But the first button on my Scribe Premium will not work. Yep. Eraserhead works. And same for Statler. Yep. So again, that's a stroke eraser. Okay. I mean, that's barely legible, right? Now, Excalidraw is supposed to be for diagrams, not for handwriting. However, I don't understand whose uses, like whose use cases are served by making everything look this dumb. That's a little bit, okay. If I tried to write that on a Boox device, that would have been completely, you would have not been able to read that, to be fair. Like, you really would not have been able to read that. Why do I not? Okay, there we go. That was going to bother me. So maybe I should be less hard on it, but okay, so it actually can do small strokes. Wow, that's an amazing lack of palm rejection there. Okay, that's not bad. So if you want to do handwriting in Excalidraw, this is one of the ways that you can do it. I will actually give it that. That's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Because you heard me getting really primed to get really frustrated, right? Because I've been through this before. And the Excalidraw developers are like, shrug whenever I try to ask them about how do I turn off this godforsaken, balloon animal effect. But yeah, so anyway, I think that's everything. I think my verdict on this device is this. If I can, so this is 450, right? Which is like somewhat more than a Go 10.3. If I can use or rather, if I can root this thing, if I can be sure that I don't have to worry in the future about not being able to use things because they've decided to stop supporting it. If I can be sure that, I can do stuff that I need to do that is developer level, that is system level, that I'm not going to get locked out of my own device. Okay. Now we're having a conversation. Well, you guys don't need to see what this is. So, oh wait, I can do this. There we go. Wow. Okay, I'm going to skip that. Yes, I don't care about device protection features. This is my device. F you. Okay. Device protection features. Who's getting protected, you or me? Okay. Yeah, I always want that turned on. So there's a lot of interesting stuff in here. This is definitely this is a very GSI-ish image. The fact that I could just turn on OEM unlocking like that, like if I can use Fastboot to do this, oh man. Oh, then I'm definitely in love with this device, actually. Which is a weird thing. Look, okay, I'm not normal. I think everybody here recognizes that. If you've been watching my channel at all, if you've interacted with me on Discord, I do not represent your average consumer, and I fully acknowledge that. Yeah. But the fact that this looks so far like it's wide open because I can just flick this switch, that makes me a very, very happy boy. So, we'll see. Stay tuned. Okay, so that's it for this fun little machine. Unfortunately, it turns out that I can't root it the way I was hoping. At least not yet. We have some time to wait, I think, before that's going to be possible. This particular system on chip is ornery with respect to being able to get images of the bootloader partitions on and off the machine. So I know people are working on it. Hopefully that will self-resolve. But I do think that this is a particularly useful little device because you get the strength of the latest generation of the EMR digitizer combined with like a pretty good quality screen on OLED and reasonably good performance for not a lot of money. That's not something you can usually say about Wacom. Usually everything that they make is like pretty damn expensive. Now, to be fair, like if this machine didn't have a Wacom digitizer, it would probably be like $100, right? Instead it's $450. So they're definitely still making money on it. However, when you compare it to like the rest of the market, it's still pretty inexpensive, right? Your average Samsung tablet with EMR and 8 gigs of RAM is going to be significantly more expensive than this. So I think this is still a big win. It's going to be really useful for testing other other EMR writing devices, or rather writing applications, note-taking applications. Even though for some reason Wacom doesn't really seem to understand that there is a real and serious need and use for high accuracy digitizer technology in this kind of device, right? Like it's in Boox devices, it's in Supernote devices, etc. But they don't seem to really like sort of grok that this is technology that's really useful for handwriting and useful for note taking, and why that might be, right? So that was the reason why I wanted to do this video, just so that I could show all of you guys, hey, here's an example of a machine that can be really useful in that context. So I'm going to keep exploring this. I'm going to keep diving into other note-taking applications, trying to figure out what can be done with a tablet like this. And whatever I discover that's new, I will let all you guys know. So if that's it, have a lovely rest of your week. Thanks, everybody.